You're 29, 5 years out of the academy, mostly bored, mostly paperwork. Then your supervisor drops a file on your desk. Not drugs, not guns. People. A truck stop outside Atlanta. A motel that changes its staff every 6 weeks. A missing persons report nobody followed up on. You're being pulled onto a joint task force. Homeland Security, local PD, one prosecutor who hasn't slept in a year. Your job isn't to make an arrest. Your job is to become invisible. You start as nobody. A face in a booth. 6 hours a day at the truck stop diner, laptop open. A bad cover story about freelance writing nobody actually checks. Black coffee, refilled 4 times, never finished once. You watch. You don't write reports. Not yet. You memorize. Plates. Faces. The guy who parks the same rig in the same spot every Thursday. The woman who never orders food, just sits. Just watches the door, the way you're watching the lot. You start picking up the language nobody teaches you. The code words buried in online ads. New in town. Fresh. Words that read like nothing until you've seen what they're actually selling. You notice the same photo, same girl, same forced smile. Reposted 3 cities away 4 days later. Like stock rotating through a warehouse. Except it's a person. 3 weeks in, you see her. 17, maybe younger. Standing outside room 14 with her arms wrapped around herself against the cold, scanning the parking lot. Not idly, not bored, but the way someone scans a room when they've learned the hard way, that not watching gets you hurt. Her eyes pass right over your car. You're invisible to her. You're invisible to everyone. That's the job. You don't move. You can't. Every cell in your body is screaming to walk over, to say, "Get in the car. I can help you right now." And every part of your training is screaming back, one wrong move, and she's gone by morning, moved 3 states away to a city you don't have eyes on, and you'll never see her again. You sit there with your hands gripping the wheel until your knuckles go white and you do nothing. You drive away. You don't sleep that night. You don't sleep for a lot of nights after that. The case builds slow, brutally slow. Weeks turn into months of paperwork that feels like nothing. Burner phone records, shell payment apps, a pattern of cash deposits split across 3 check cashing stores so no single one ever flags. It's tedious. It's invisible work. And then, buried in a stack of surveillance photos, you find him. He's not what you expected. No scowl, no scar, nothing from a movie. He's polite to the diner waitress. He tips 20%. On weekends, he coaches a kids' football team. You've seen the photos. Him in a windbreaker, clipboard in hand, 10-year-olds in helmets 2 sizes too big. He waves at his mail carrier by name. That's the part nobody warns you about in training. You expect evil to look like something. It doesn't. It looks like the guy next door. And somewhere underneath that windbreaker is the reason a 17-year-old can't stop checking the parking lot. Your first real break comes from a victim advocate your unit brought in. Not a cop. Someone trained for exactly this. Someone who doesn't flinch and doesn't push. It takes 4 meetings before the girl from room 14 says anything useful. It takes 4 months before she trusts any of you at all. Trust. It is something you earn, isn't something you can rush. It's something you earn by keeping one small promise at a time. What she gives you cracks the case wide open. Names, routes, a second location 2 states over you didn't even know existed. Now, it's not just one motel. It's a network. Atlanta connects to Charlotte, connects to a string of addresses in Florida. What you thought was a local problem is a pipeline. This is where it turns dangerous. You're not chasing a guy anymore. You're threatening an income stream for people who've killed for less than this. Your supervisor calls you in, shuts the door. Not procedure. A real question. Are you sure you want to keep pulling this thread? You say yes before you let yourself think about it too long. You don't tell him about the phone calls, the ones where nobody speaks, then hangs up. 3 of them this month, the night of the raid. You've been awake 19 hours, 12 agencies, 4 locations, synchronized to the second so nobody down the chain has time to make a call. You're not breaching doors. That was never your role. You're in the command vehicle, headset on, listening to 8 months of your life either come together or fall apart in real time. It moves fast. Room 14's door goes down at 4:47 a.m., boots on concrete. A voice screaming, FBI, hands where I can see them. Then the words you've been chasing for 8 months. All clear. We've got 7. 7 people walk out blinking into the flashlights. Not suspects, survivors. One of them is the girl from room 14. She'll never know your face. That's not how this works. But you watch on the feed as someone wraps a blanket around her shoulders, and for 1 second, the entire grinding, paranoid 8 months collapses into something simple. Tonight, she's safe. It's not a clean win. 2 names on your board are never found. One of them, the man who ran the second location, boards a flight out of Miami 11 days before the raid. Somebody tipped him. You'd never find out who. You think you know. You can't prove it. That one stays open on your desk for the rest of the year, then gets boxed and shelved, unsolved. A name you still type into a search bar sometimes at 2 a.m. The trial for the rest doesn't drag. It detonates. Burner records, cash deposits, his own reposted photos laid out on the courtroom screen like a confession he wrote himself. 90 minutes, guilty on every count. 22 years, no parole before 15. You watch him hear it. The windbreaker's gone. So is the smile. You go home that night, and your wife is already asleep. You missed your daughter's recital for the wiretap warrant. You stand in the doorway of her room for a minute before you go to bed. You tell yourself it was worth it. Most nights, you believe it. 6 months later, a new file lands on your desk. Different city, same fingerprints in the network. You wait for the dread. It doesn't come. What comes instead is hunger. The girl from room 14 is in community college now, social work. Wants to be the one who sits across from someone broken and says, I believe you, until they believe it too. You think about that more than the medal in your drawer, and more than the name you never closed. You didn't fix the world. You took a network apart, person by person, motel by motel, most of it, not all of it, until what was left of it stopped being able to hurt anyone. That's not small. It's also not finished. And you're already 3 steps into the next file.